Okay, all right, scrimmage thoughts. It was pretty much what I thought, standing back behind. The highlights I felt like were, Cameron Arter's pain. I mean, obviously he had some good hard-nosed runs. He fell forward a lot. I thought our tackling overall in space was pretty good. I feel like we improved, definitely from the first scrimmage. On that, Justin Garrett was flying around like he has all spring. Made a couple, obviously he picked up the fumble, but he made a couple other plays that were very impressive. Deep forward, rushing the passer. If it would have been a live situation, our quarterback would have got hit, quite a few times, taking some pretty good licks. But it was really good for us, gave us some information, where we're at. There's a lot of plays to grade as far as the scrimmage goes. Today we had our early morning practice. It was our last padded practice. I challenged our guys before that, most teams can't go out with great energy after a spring type game. But for the most part, I felt like our guys wanted to get better, and I felt like we did get better. So that was a bright spot on that. And tomorrow we will have a last practice in shorts. There'll be a lot of teaching, a lot of technique, and there was some teaching today too. But this was really the last time we went offense against defense and got after it, and we did about 6 periods of that. Demetrius McNeal did not practice today. He will not tomorrow. His status is still day to day and up in the air. But overall, I feel good about where we're at, and we got 1 practice left, and we'll go from there.
Do you expect Demetrius to be back with the team?
That's still up in the air. He is on the team, but that's still up in the air.
Can you shed any light? Is it academic? Is it?
It's off the field issues. He's got to take care of some business.
Your thoughts on the quarterback play after you had a chance to kind of watch those guys?
Well, it's really about what I thought. I mean, there was some inconsistencies. They did make some good throws. In a scrimmage situation, it's kind of unfortunate we only have 2 scholarship quarterbacks go through spring, so you'd like to see live. There were some good runs, and they kept some plays alive. But there's a couple of plays I know they wish they had back. But it's good to see how they react, in front of the crowd.
You talked about tackling and looking back at film last year when you first got here to now. How much do you think that's improved? Nellis has improved that?
Well, from the first couple practices, I would say we've improved quite a bit. Coach Johnson and defensive staff have worked hard every day. They've had tackling drills and different things. And we've like I said, scrimmages. We've had some long or numerous play scrimmages, and that's the way you get better at anything you do. Is actually do it. And so it's been really good to see who can tackle, who needs to improve, and who's gotten better.
How's the offensive line coming along?
They're starting to gel a little bit. The last probably practice 6 or 7, we started kind of putting some guys together with some groups and see how they responded, and we just mix and match 1 or 2 at times. And offensive line is a position that it takes all 5 guys working together, and I think they improved. We do have some young talent. We feel like the future is very bright in the offensive line.
With the offensive line, how much competition does there remain, and how fluid is that left guard spot, and how solid are the other 4 spots? Because it seemed like that unit really stuck with the 4 turning starters for the most part.
Yeah, we're going to wait until the last practice to really dig deep into 2 deep depth chart like we talked about before. We have mixed and matched. Saturday, I believe it was just the guards we mixed and matched. Avery Young has not been able to do full speed stuff because of his shoulder. He's done a lot of stuff. We get scout teams, stuff like that, but because of his shoulder, so he'll be a factor too. So we just kind of, the good thing is we got some depth. I mean, that's probably the biggest positive. We have a lot of options.
With the backup center spot, I know you were working Alex and Devontae early. When Tunde is still struggling with snapping out of the shotgun, how are you planning to address that going forward?
Yeah, well obviously you've got to have 2 or 3 centers that you feel good about, and we're a shotgun-oriented offense. It's very critical. The center and quarterback are the 2 key positions, and we got to get more consistent with the snapping. And we did try out a couple people early, and we'll continue to explore options at the center position.
Did you think that, especially with wanting to establish a depth chart, did one quarterback do better than the other in your eyes on Saturday?
It was very close as far as grading out.
Did you see out of Brandon Fultz this spring, kind of what you thought, given kind of the recruiting
Yeah,
process?
that's what we recruited Brandon Fultz for that position, standing up, doing a lot of dirty work, a very physical blocker. The very first year, we lost Eric Smith, and so he had to do a lot of the H-back stuff, that Eric Smith did, and so he's finally coming into his own with the position we recruited him for.
Those guys look to me like the defensive tackles trying to be really active out there Saturday. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, it sure did, standing behind, there's a lot of penetration, and Coach Garner's got those guys really focused on playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And they did a good job. They created some havoc in the backfield at times.
Gus, with Demetrius' status uncertain at this time, I know Josh Holder was working back at the safety spot. Beyond Josh, are there other candidates for possibly filling that role should Demetrius not be able to fill it?
Yeah, not at this time as far as the guys we have. Now, Holsey's a guy that definitely we're looking at. He's a very good football player. And then we got some other guys coming in, and we'll see what happens when they get here.